there's a certain prelapsarian streak to the general discussion of old Minecraft, old ethos Minecraft, old what Minecraft used to be. I think it is cope to say in the purest form of the word to say that it's a phenomenon uh extant outside of nostalgia because it is really entirely dependent on. Obviously, there are tangible things. Otherwise, something like this uh, wouldn't be able to be created. You wouldn't be able to. Fuck. Uh, you wouldn't be able to make something that closer emulates the old development ethos if there wasn't something along those lines to emulate. But it's also when you talk about something like, well, anyone does, but anything like, oh, what if Herobrine was real? What if fucking hit the tiny fog and just look out? I think it taps into a very it's fucking black too, but it taps into a very talk about this with Yume Nikki, any Yume type game. There's a lot of power in chasing that long series of ephemeral feelings that, if not strictly emulate, then oh shit. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's gonna have to be stone stairs here. Uh, if not emulate, then evoke very fulfillingly, fulfillingly the idea of that mystical, misty past uh, in which there was all sorts of shit that could happen, and the world was a lot wider, and I can't really do anything. Just have to wait. Fucking, there's no video evidence of this. You're hallucinating. Not there. Uh, but there's a lot of power in emulating that sort of feeling, the feeling of, I could just walk out there and anything could happen. Maybe I will find Herobrine, or maybe I will find a lost civilization. It's the reason those exploring old abandoned servers thing is so endearing to minds everywhere. Glass there. It's like I said, prelapsarian. You know, back to the Garden of Eden, but the idea there is that they're. Well, I guess it's not inherent, but in the vein of mystical, the idea that there just isn't actually strictly this is just rose tinted glasses as a concept, relitigated, the wheel, but just sit there and wait for it. By the furnace, I could stick my hand in there and I would be fine. Most people are not capable of this, but I've replaced my entire hand with Teflon. The old stuff that would uh give you cancer or perhaps AIDS. Frowning, smiling emoji, winky face. Or meningitis. Whatever it's called when your your muscles calcify and they become essentially bone. And then you have like a whole second skeleton that's your muscles. And I think you just die. I think you just drop dead at that point. But I'll try just smooth stone for now. There isn't smooth stone. I have to make bricks. The point of it, the point is there is a lot of inherent sort of chasing of a bygone age that is not entirely necessarily accurate, but I mean, is that strictly on topic here? Or is that just entirely tangential? Ambiguous, who can say? I'm drowning. I will be drowning. God fucking. Yeah, that'll do it. Sorry, that was the Pentagon calling on the big red phone that they call the president on, where the president calls from. Sonic Adventure 2 for the battle for the GameCube. Re notch and ethos and artistic vision and intentionality. Yes, it looks fine. It's okay. I'm fully glass. I'm fully unequipped to comment there because I am a terminally uninformed wretch. The only thing, and I think a lot of people are kind of the same way with this, but the wider conception of Notch as either video game Jesus or like a vaguely politically tinted punchline is, I think, really not very useful when thinking about anything that the guy has ever done or said or thought. I mean, maybe it is. But in the context of this thing, with all the blocks and shit, that's spreading. It's very difficult to bring up Notch as a guy without completely autofilling an entirely invented uh, myth, really. You know, he's beneficial to the public consciousness as a metaphor, as a, this indie darling that created the world's biggest video game success story, or feasibly as some kind of quasi-parasocial lesson in social hubris, or how money can't buy you companionship. The pervasive story of the oh, will I die? I will not die. The pervasive story of the uneaten candy wall that vanishes as a result, goes rotten and begins to wax and melt like one of those bubblegum uh, alleyways in either Brazil or San Francisco or something like that. Portugal, France. No, France has the keys. Maybe more buckets, but it doesn't really matter. Uh, which I'm sure at that point you just, even if it was ever really real, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of it. It's just purported. But at that point you just like get rid of it, or I'm sure you can eat, even if it's a lot of candy, it's probably decently insulated against rot, given that it was affixed to a wall in the first place. So you can probably eat all that by yourself in like 3 years. And if you can't, then scrape it off. Pay someone with your 12 bazillion dollars, with the comical amount of money that you have, to just make a new wall, or even a new candy wall. Just get it replaced. The adage is richer than God. Yeah, you kind of are at that point. Like, just just buy a new mansion if it upsets you that much. Fucking this is a mess. Do I even want to that there? Symmetry, but I'd have to rejig some stuff over there if I want to get it actually symmetrical. I like that bit over there. Talking about? Right, but the mythos of this guy as turbo super genius and or uh social nitwit, uh replying to 18% of the tweets he receives, which is a prodigious number considering he has surely one, if not 38 million followers. Or maybe three, or a billion. 85. 85 million, 200, 12,000 million, billion, 100. Could be. You're not gonna check. Maybe you will. The point is, it makes it difficult to get a grip on who the guy was, to biographize him. Biograph? And thus to properly oh, okay. There's a non-zero chance this thing will... Oh, it's daytime. I guess it's fine. To get any sort of lasting grip on the man's unknowable cranium. Crap, I don't have... shovel. It's like 3 in a row. So it makes it difficult, I think, to really get into the weeds of comparing, because it's very nebulous generally to say what the difference is. Just carve out a big fucking chunk here. What is this? Red? Scorched dirt. Chainmail. I think you can make fences with that. Fuck it. But Minecraft was made essentially in the basement of a Malaysian man, and then later transmogrified through malicious means by William Gates and his big needle full of human green slime. His big needle full of human green slime, uh and it gives you gonorrhea or syphilis, maybe, like the Tuskegee experiment, but funnier because he's got like a big his mouth is contorted into a devilish grin and he's got little horns poking out of his head. And he's... oh, fuck. Is there any of this I don't get? A bone? There's a lot of bones. I don't really need bones. I barely need 2 stacks. And he's smiling and grinning evilly, and you can hear him laughing, distorted reverb in the background, deep, the opposite of helium gas, deep, 3,000 minus decibels pitch. And he says, "I see you've activated my William trap." And he begins to force the giant, comedy-sized green needle into your scalp, and it begins to, like the Hulk or Bane from Batman Arkham Origins, or Night, or City, or Asylum, or Gotham City Online, 2011. This is tangential, but suffering ignominy plus scream and wail. Uh, a lot of video games used to have the tacked on multiplayer mode that they really didn't need to add. Assassin's Creed had a multiplayer mode for quite a while. It was okay. And I think it was Arkham Origin, maybe? Might have been Arkham Origin that had the bullshit multiplayer mode that had maybe 3 all-time like concurrent players. Sorry, no, I can't do the thing about the big red phone again. I just did that. But they would do that. They, nebulously, the uh, video games developers, they thought it was gold? Epic gold. Golden nugget. Fuck. You know what? This is representative of something. It's metaphorical. I'm sure. Probably water if it was, but I don't know why they did that. This is gonna be lava. Yep. Did I even get it? Hopefully. I just need to shore this up entirely, I think. I don't want to give my first excellent source of lava entirely. Oh, I could make obsidian. We go to get some water. But I think when you talk about Minecraft and modernity with uh big limestone statues of Stephen and Notch and Jeb, and also Jeb exclamation point, and dying skeleton. See, this sucks. This isn't good, but I have to like push this back to make it not miserable. Or maybe if it, no, that'd be okay, but then I don't want to like ugh. And the V in return or return whatever is actually a bucket from look. This is the bucket sprite from Minecraft. This is a popular video game. And Steve is there too, not just as a statue, but overseeing it in joy and mirth. And he's clapping. Is this infinite? No, I just forgot. No. It needs to be on the ground for that. I should make some kind of extant water source. But you probably call it the what RPGification of Minecraft is obviously experience points, the hunger system. These are the obvious things, and you get all these new bonus stats and I mean, this has stats too, but I guess I'll just go down and make an infinite in the corner. Light punch, medium punch, heavy kick, quarter circle. That's not even the thing. Uh, yeah, just here. Let me find. I feel like I could have done it at the bottom of that actually, but makes it less folly, which is half the point. But you get all these sort of. It feels almost like you get in like JRPG, you get like the secret boss, and Super Mario RPG, you get the secret item hidden in a chest in the corner that gives you like, oh yeah, that gives you like an extra 38 to your Glaumbing stat, and your Glaumbing stat only applies to 15 special moves that can be unlocked through the compendium, but are very powerful in 3 out of 18 boss fights. That kind of thing. For any kind of the. What's that fucking dinosaur thing? The Sniffler? Recovering recovering your eggs for the Sniffler? Sorry, that was a demons. Or aliens maybe would be funny. The Sniffler is stupid because it's this big thing. It's very rare, and it only gives you. And you talked about the. God, that just exploded it. I'll leave this one for now, but I can't even fucking mine it. Talked about the what armadillo, which the famous recurring bit there is the illo, which was not armored. It was all squishy and was repeatedly used as slingshots. So saith uh, William Oddie, I think. Should have been named William Goody. It would have made the TV show a lot more thematic. String, 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 string. Everybody loves string. Bring back Kid and Kong. Make that real. Make Kid and Kong real and make him 300 feet tall and make him powerful. Give him lasers. Give him. I need to put down new chest. I have 7 of them, which is 6 more than I need to put down, or 5 if you're counting double chests. I think you should. I don't think there's any point in putting down a normal chest unless there's some extant space requirement, or maybe if it's a trap chest, if it's a booby trapped chest and it's going to drop you into a spike pit. I don't think I can. I don't know how to make those. It's redstone, which I don't have, so I'm only mining now in the past hour. But any of that shit, it's very hyper specific because I think you can get away with that in RPG design because it's cool to have there's an inherent both limitation and collectionism. Uh, fucking lag, killing myself. Maybe ism is the wrong way to phrase it, but no, that's probably fine. That's reasonable. But yeah, an extant uh thing of collection where there's only so many things you can get that are unique because there's only so many things they made that are unique, and there's no infinite world because it's not an infinite game. It's very structured and linear because it's an RPG, and so they can place very deliberate secrets and very deliberate processes to unlock certain things, and by doing so, it feels rewarding. It feels fun. Here's this game you've put, 80 hours into, and you go on GameFAQs, and there's a walkthrough from 1998, manually justified TXT, and they give you uh, a very no nonsense 13-step process to unlock, to get Gremulon back in your party after he leaves in the third act for uh, for extra damage against Garmodu because Gremulon uses a lot of dark damage because he's part of the evil species. And abort, abort. It's going too long. Extended ham-fisted metaphor, not metaphor. Analogy, not metaphor, not analogy. Maybe analogy. Comparison. The point is that is a lot more appealing in something where you can place deliberate secrets, but for this, it's not really that cool. I think if I had to interpret the smoke signals, I think the reason it's done that way is because it gives Darkstone. What's this? Is this real? Basalt! I want basalt. I want a lot of basalt. I'm gonna mine this. Time to get 38 stacks of basalt and begin to weep openly. But something like this, where was I? Yeah, I think the reason coal, the reason they do it most likely is because it gives people something specific. It emulates the sort of mod pack, there's all sorts of time sink bullshit to do, but this kind of thing, because it's an extended process, so it's good for time sync. It's something you have to find the new unique items and the new unique biome and the new unique mob, and then it will give you. Don't say AIDS. Don't say human green slime and AIDS or beaten to death with hammers. Uh, some kind of I'm very sniffly. Um, it will give you some kind of decorative block, or maybe you can increase your speed by 10% while hitting the gritty using the new Minecoin item shop feature where you can buy the gritty from Fortnite and you can activate it and you can use the gritty and you can be like, this is what it would look like. Vladimir Putin. We are all Young Money Clan hitting the gritty for Ukraine. Young Money Clan is getting victory royales in Fortnite. Ouch. My sensitive little toes. Oh, they're broken. Oh, they're broken. Oh, they're all falling off. Oh, I've been cursed. I've been cursed by God and smote and smited and hit with hammers. He gave me AIDS. Refocus. And so it gives you a time sink. It gives you a justification for not only coming into the new update, but sticking with it to get their player retention metrics up. You know, everyone got on the new thing and they played it for a whole amount of time because it's epic sauce to unlock the sniffler, unlock the sniffler, and to hit the sniffler with hammers. No. Because I don't know why I'm coughing so much. This is clearly like some primordial ghastly apparition leaving my body. I haven't invoked. It was as soon as I said the sniffler, because I knew that was what its name was, but as soon as I vocalized it, uh, phantasms began to assault me. This is New Age medicine, and I need to have an artificially induced stroke and chiropractic in order to uh reverse this terrible intrusion on our mental hyperspace. That's the coolest shit ever. What the fucking information superhighway? Cyberspace, not hyperspace, but it gives them numbers and metrics is the only thing anybody cares about in corporate America. What if our numbers were bigger? What if our playtime was even bigger? That's why everyone hates World of Warcraft and pretended they were gonna stop playing it for 6 months, maybe 3 or 4 months, and then everyone who said that started playing World of Warcraft again when they put the new expansion out. I love to lie. I love to lie on the internet to myself and everyone I know and strangers and say, I'm gonna do this, it'll be great for me, and then immediately not do it as soon as it's uh, tempting not to. And allegedly, World of Warcraft is either a good or bad game, depending on who you ask. Could it both be true? Is this an excellent superposition? Should we take every uh every person who has ever played World of Warcraft and put them in a battle royale for the Nintendo Switch style? Is that real? Player Player Unknown's Battlegrounds for the Nintendo Switch. Likely sponsored by fuck, some kind of Pepsi Cola or maybe Fanta. Um, maybe Adolf is sponsoring it and it is Fanta, or maybe he is paying to have his name taken off of it. When people think about like, oh, what if Hitler was like cybernetically alive, frozen for 3,000 years, like Walt Disney wasn't, but they always think, I think, what if he had they're always thinking about Wolfenstein 3D, but I think that's short-sighted because if he were alive today, he would just be like Osama bin Laden and playing CS Source and PS2 games all day. Supine in the Hussein position, kissing his compatriots in the compound on the mouth, potentially. You can't prove you can't prove that Osama bin Laden was not giving his friends and compatriots friendly kisses on the mouth or the wrist if he was French. She wasn't. He wasn't French, so he wouldn't, but but the point is that they should make more things that just show up and that aren't designed, I feel, to make you drop 20 hours or like 10 hours more than you would have on a new world. Uh, compared to what if you just made something and it showed up? You could make it and it was cool. I mean, the scaffolding was all right. I liked the scaffolding. That was a fun implementation and allowed for you could make new kinds of. These are so pretty. These like gray leaves. I want to eat these. They've got to be like coconut jelly beans or they're browning now, I think. So maybe like cinnamon jelly beans. Fuck, tastes so good. Bring back jelly beans. No one eats jelly beans anymore. That's a whim. I don't know why I say bring them back. I'm sure there's a multilateral, like multi-billion-dollar jelly bean industry. Like no one's going bankrupt in the jelly bean industry. It's fine. If you're making jelly beans, it's okay. You can make them. You can create three, if not 82,000 more jelly beans before you even have to imagine losing so much as $1. They have to be very cheap to produce because they're quite small. That is funny though to say like, bring back walking. Guys, nobody walks anymore. Bring back standing. Bring back bring back breathing and uh eating potatoes. No one eats potatoes anymore. It's not trendy anymore to it's not trendy anymore to eat food. Now everyone just eats air and sunlight. Except that's not true. Breatharianism is the obscure thing. I bet I could do that. I would just try very, very hard. And all the fragile old ladies who've died horrible deaths, starving to death, starving themselves to death, trying to eat light and photosynthesize. I could do it. I bet you could do it too. The viewer nebulously. I bet I bet Barack could do it. I'm lying. He couldn't. Why am I going back up? I don't need to sleep. I'm subterranean. But biomes, rebiomes. I finally remembered another direct response, call and response. Biomes. I think they're probably because it's another like, oh, you gotta explore to find it. It's another time sink, but also just from counting every mod ever made, there are so many that add biomes. It's one of the most popular things to do if you're making something from Minecraft is to make a biome. Even like, the Aether's a biome. In fact, the Aether probably has like three biomes. If you add something then you might as well add a biome because that's what everyone's doing. It's trendy to add a biome. It's also trendy to hit the gritty. Please, if you're watching this, please go out to Long Island Beach and order a Long Island iced tea for comedic effect, and then hit the gritty while wearing a either some kind of a giant costume. It's very comedic, or there's the fucking guy. Uh, a giant costume that's very comedic, or feasibly, potentially nothing, and then get arrested by the Long Island Police Department. Where the fuck is Long Island? Is it long? It has to be. It has to be long. Imagine there'd be some Greenland shit if you named it Long Island and it was short. It was like 2 centimeters tall. That's tall. Tall and long are not the same thing. And there is an exploratory glee, I suppose, in more prefab structures and more biomes and more etc. But I'm also not that big of an explorer. I find like two cool things, I hunker down, and that's it. I yearn for the Xbox. Actually respond. I wave God fuck. I yearn for the original old school Xbox, where the limit was one like map per map. I thought the limitations inherent in that were very nice. And feasibly, you can do that by just limiting the world border, but it's not the same aesthetically because it was this, endless ocean out there. Whereas you can just see the shit that you can get to if you turn on the world border. It's right there. It's not fulfilling at all. You'd have to do some fucking world edit shit. Yeah, you could, but then with all the new biomes, you can't find the new biomes because if they don't spawn, and that limits you quite a lot. So, but I did like that, especially for something like this, where it's more limited anyway. Maybe it would Bedrock. Maybe it would suck if something that was cool like the permafrost dungeon did not spawn at all. I've not seen any redstone or lapis lazuli. Yeah, that would be unfortunate, certainly. But I like that. I like the limitation. It gives me that way I can feasibly explore everything, and then I have everything explored, and I can just if there's something cool, I can just make it to there. But now, uh, even on dinky little consoles, that's actually quite big. I also uh, have not been able to find ports of the special maps that they would make, or like the tutorial and the resource packs. I have not been able to find ports of those to PC. It would be cool. Maybe I found like one or two. I just forgot, but they had the Skyrim one, they had the Mass Effect one. The Mass Effect one kind of sucked because it was just all red because they just added the Mesa, I think. They were trying to show that off. Or maybe I'm confabulating that timeline of events, but they were cool because they would hide all of the music discs around. You'd have to find them. It would be cool mode. But yeah, I would prefer just like more stuff that could maybe show up. I'm fine with that, I think. It's a weird blend of the completionism of wanting to see the whole thing and also not minding if something isn't there. Okay. I'm I've drained my prefrontal cortex. All the cerebellum fluid has leaked out. It's everywhere. It's, it's on the rug. It's in the rug. There's there's creatures drinking it. Creatures are some kind of a fucking something that would be funny to drink it, like the like from Legend of Zelda that digests your shield entirely and you can never get it back. I was so afraid that my cool shield was going to be yanked and I would never get it back, or I would be shieldless and there would be no way to get it back. I would have to play the whole rest of the game without a shield. I would be so scared. That was on the GameCube. I want to say GameCube earlier, but I had to say Switch because there would be no PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds on the GameCube because that was made in like 2000 something. And Player Battlegrounds was made like 4 to 8 years ago or something. Player Battle Guy, or I bet you can hit the gritty in that too.